Aegon the Conqueror, along with his sisters Visenya and Rhaenys, conquered the lands of Westeros, unifying them into a larger kingdom. The only kingdom or principality that survived this conquest was the Principality of Dorne. The ruling House of Dorne, House Martell's words were unbowed, unbent, unbroken. This remained largely true centuries after Aegon's conquest. During the Targaryen dynasty, the Targaryens tried many times and failed to invade the Dornish, even with their dragons. During Aegon's conquest, Queen Rhaenys flew on her dragon Meraxes to Dorne, from Vaith to Godsgrace, where she found all the castles and towns abandoned, and to Planky Town, where only women and children remained. Rhaenys finally flew to Sunspear, the seat of House Martell, where she found the Princess Maria Martell seated on her throne in her otherwise abandoned castle. The princess warned the queen that the Dornish would neither fight nor kneel. Rhaenys replied that the Targaryens would return with fire and blood. Princess Maria told her to return to her own peril. Rhaenys departed, and Dorne was not conquered in Aegon's initial conquest. The First Dornish War began at Forek. Aegon had just been crowned king over the Seven Kingdoms and began governing in King's Landing. But he knew that the title King of the Seven Kingdoms was just that, a title. Dorne had not joined the Seven Kingdoms. So, Aegon launched a war intent on completing his conquest of the continent. When the Dornish learned of this, they intended to fight no great battles with the Targaryens, nor did they hide in their castles. They had learned their lessons from Harrenhal and the Field of Fire. Queen Rhaenys led the assault, burning Planky Town with Meraxes on her way to Sunspear, while King Aegon and Lord Harlan Tyrell led an army down the Prince's Pass against the Lords of the Red Mountains. The Dornish defenders harried the Targaryen forces, performing hit-and-run raids and vanishing when they caught sight of the dragons. Many of the invading armies died from the sun and thirst as they marched on Hellholt. The Dornish had burned their crops and poisoned their wells to stave off the invaders. Lord Orys Baratheon's assault on the Boneway proved a disaster. The Dornishmen launched a night raid, raining rocks, arrows, and spears from above. The bodies of the invading army blocked the Boneway from both ends, and Orys, along with many of his bannermen and knights, were captured. The invasion was all a disaster, but Aegon found Sunspear, mostly abandoned, and the Martells vanished with their armies. There, Aegon declared himself a victor, and left the army in the command of Lord Harlan Tyrell and the castle in the hands of Lord Rosby. As soon as the Targaryens returned King's Landing along with their dragons, a revolt broke out in Dorne with shocking speed. The Dornish had been planning this the whole time. Knights and soldiers were put to the sword. Lord Tyrell and his entire army vanished in the sands between Hellholt and Vaith, while Lord Rosby was killed. The Dornish took control of Dorne yet again, but the war remained unfinished.